to begin, how to start.
There's something funny, ironically, about how people perceive their own thoughts, their own words. And no, this isn't about Dunning-Kruger. That's about people overestimating ability. This is deeper, stranger. This is about choice. Every day, millions of people open an app and begin assembling words. Not randomly, not carelessly, deliberately. They're selecting their sharpest tools, their wittiest phrasing, their funniest take. It's not so different from choosing your favorite ice cream. You don't go with the second best flavor. You go with the one you believe is best. Why would you pick any other? And so, when someone crafts a tweet or a reply, they are, consciously or not, saying, This is the cleverest version of me, right here in 87 characters. Most adults have an active vocabulary of around 20 to 30,000 words. That's their verbal palette. The collection of words they use to tell jokes, explain ideas, flirt, argue, and, perhaps most dangerously, post. From that vast mental pantry, they curate their moment of genius. But here's the trap. Normally, a person won't write something boring and stupid, at least not intentionally. They're convinced it's good. It may be borrowed. It may be overused. But they feel confident in its quality, just like their favorite flavor. This is the wit illusion. The illusion that your words are objectively good simply because you subjectively liked them enough to choose them. Social media users are all chasing the same invisible prize: to be noticed. If you can't be beautiful, perhaps you can be clever. And if you can't be clever, you can at least be funny. And in our own mind, it feels like we're doing well, because we're using our favorite weapons, the arrangement of words that we have decided are the best words for that exact moment. Most of us imagine we're threading Aristotle's golden mean, avoiding the buffoon's chaos and the boor's stiffness, landing squarely in that elegant center of wit. But there's a problem. No one agrees where the bullseye is, and everyone is convinced they're near the center. You think you're clever. They think you're trying too hard. You think you've perfected dark humor. They think you're angry and depressed.
Take her fucking out! Take her to somewhere that's good! Go see Madonna, you fucking idiot piece of.
And when it doesn't land, we have our reasons. They didn't get it. They're redneck rubes. They're too woke.
I actually don't believe that Palestinian films should win any awards ever, because they only know how to play one role, victim. You know, it's like my family is so starving. They only got 5 trucks of humanitarian aid. Please donate, link in the bio.
And in the subjective world of comedy, in a world in which the lowest common denominator has the broadest appeal, a world divided along ideological lines, we may be right, or we may be lying to ourselves. Now compare this to something like golf. You hit the ball. It lands where it lands. If you score higher than your opponent, you lost. You don't feel like you played better. You know you didn't. This is what Norm Macdonald loved about sports, the objectivity. The scoreboard doesn't flatter you. You don't get points for trying to be smart. You win, or you don't. Comedians trying to be smart are usually neither. Smartness isn't the point. Funny is the point. And funny can't be faked. And yet, we keep trying.
Your friend Bill Maher, for instance, you know, he wants to be seen as an intellectual.
Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller. But Letterman understands, he's smarter than both of them. He understands, play the dumb guy, you know?
You got any gum?
Play the everyman. Nobody likes a guy smarter than them. That's the worst guy you can be. A guy smarter than the audience. They're gonna hate you, you know?
There's two kinds of guys. There's guys like Pryor who are like brilliant because they're so vulnerable and you know who they are. And then there's guys like Bob Hope are brilliant because they're like invisible. To me, Bob Hope in a way is a little bit on a higher level because he presents a sort of a existential view of life where everything is reduced to the breeziest jokes possible. And it doesn't even seem like he's a person. It seems like he's a cartoon. And I think if you can rise to the level of cartoon, then because who's funnier than like Bugs Bunny or somebody, you know? You know, if Bugs Bunny started fucking railing against God, you'd go, what? That guy doesn't seem that funny anymore.
Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you.